Welcome back, everybody, to my YouTube channel. This is the Jordan Report, and I am your host, Robert Jordan. Everyone, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. All right, there's a bunch of rumors. I don't know if you want to call them rumors, but on the internet, people are talking about the Democrats' plan to overthrow Trump and put Nancy Pelosi in the White House, make her the president. I'm just going to go through a couple of articles. But for those who don't know this, the Democrats have been trying to overthrow Trump for 3 years. Okay? This is what's been going on. This is what we've been watching. So it's just intensifying. But anyway, I got a couple of articles, a couple of videos. We're going to try and do this under 10 minutes. So we're trying to keep these videos short. This is from the Gateway Pundit, October the 7th. MSNBC hack reveals Democrat Party plans to impeach Trump and make way for President Nancy Pelosi. I'll show you the video. Jill Wine-Banks is an MSNBC contributor and former Watergate prosecutor. Saturday on AM Joy, Jill Wine-Banks drew out the Democrat plan to impeach Trump and Vice President Pence and replace them with Speaker Nancy Pelosi as president. This is today's Democrat Party, power-lusting criminals and tyrants. That's their opinion. I'm just reading the article. According to the Washington Examiner, joining the network's AM Joy on Saturday, Wine-Banks was asked if Congress should look to impeach Trump first or turn their eyes to Pence instead. In response, she suggested going after Pence first and giving Trump the option to either replace him before being impeached himself so that a Republican remained in the White House, or decline and let Pelosi take over. You can impeach Pence first, Wine-Banks stated. The problem is that Donald Trump then has to name his replacement. But I think that maybe a deal could be struck where he is told, if you don't make a replacement, then Nancy Pelosi does become president. And so you're going to be impeached and convicted. You need to make this replacement so the proper party remains in power. This is what the left is talking about. Now, I hope they don't try anything like this, because it won't work. Now, I'm going to show you this woman saying all this stuff.
Artificial deadlines won't work.
Well, let me go around and just get everyone's take on that. I'm going to start with you, Jill Wine-Banks, because here's the challenge. If, for instance, Donald Trump, I mean, it's hard to imagine 20 Republicans having enough courage to vote to convict, to be honest, even if they were given, multiple different counts where they could vote yes and some no and others. It's very hard to imagine it. But let's say that happened. If Mike Pence were to become the head of state, Mike Pence is as deeply involved as Donald Trump is. So you really don't change anything if Mike Pence is in place and if all of the other people that were involved, all of the conspirators remain in place, and you still particularly have William Barr, who is somebody who is completely now out of the realm of being the public's lawyer and just acting as, we just heard Elizabeth Holtzman say, to deep six investigations against Trump and to raise investigations against his enemies. How does anything change if Donald Trump is no longer at the top of this web of corruption, but Pence is then at the top of it?
Well, I think a couple of things happen. One, the American voters will actually see, and I remain sort of a Pollyanna, that I believe facts ultimately matter, and that, in fact, even 20 Republican senators might come to their senses and say, the country is at risk if I don't vote this way, and the facts are clear. And I think in this case we have very clear facts. There is, and Liz and I talked about this before the show, you could impeach Pence first. The problem is that Donald Trump then has to name his replacement. But I think that maybe a deal could be struck where he was told, if you don't make a replacement, then Nancy Pelosi does become president. And so you are going to be impeached and convicted. You need to make this replacement so that the proper party remains in power. I also just want to add, I'm hearing all these Watergate phrases of deep six and throwing under the bus. And there's also another one of circling the wagons, which is relevant here, where the White House circled the wagons and said, we're going to feed them somebody. We have to give up somebody in order to, if we give them the hors d'oeuvre, maybe they won't go for the main course. And that's what's happening here. And there was also a rush into the prosecution offices. It was who's going to get the best deal by being the first in. And you had John Dean and Jeb Magruder running to our offices saying, I'll cooperate, I'll cooperate. And I think that's going to start happening. And that once we get to that level of cooperation, the dominoes are going to fall. And it's going to happen fast.
All right. Now, that's what they're saying on the left. Now, here's some more from Rashida Tlaib. Okay? She's talking along the same line, other than she's talking about actually arresting Trump and his people. Okay? This is the first time we've ever had a situation like this, she said. So they're trying to figure out, no joke, is it the D.C. police that goes and gets them? We don't know. Where do we hold them, said Rashida Tlaib. She's talking about Trump and his people. Now I'm going to show you this. This is what she said.
Go back to Washington. I would appreciate it if you go to each committee and say to them that when a subpoena is issued, that if they go around and say they're not going to comply, they have federal marshals that will hunt them down and bring them, and they refuse them to go to jail.
So let me tell you, this is pretty, and this is the last caucus conversation we've had. Do you know this is really unprecedented? This is the first time we've ever had a situation like this. So they're trying to figure out, no joke, they're trying to figure out, well, is it the DC police that goes and gets them? No, where do we hold them? I mean, this is the kind of, like, I'm not in those kinds of conversations.
She's talking about arresting Trump and his cabinet.
But I'm asking, like, you know, what happens? And they're like, well, Rashida, we're trying to figure it out ourselves because this is uncharted territory. I'm sorry, I know, but no, I'm telling you that they're trying to be like, well, where are we going to put them? Where are we going to hold? No, I mean, those are the kinds of things they're trying to tread carefully. I mean, this is, I'm like you all. I ask the same questions. Well, what happens when they don't comply? I mean, the fact of the matter is, we held Barr and Secretary Ross from Commerce, the Secretary of Commerce, in contempt. Well, what happens if they don't continue to not comply? And everybody's looking at each other. We're like, we haven't had this ever happen before. So I just want you to know I will relay your message. I will tell them they can hold off those people right here in Detroit. We'll take care of them. And make sure they show up to the committee hearings. We won't hurt them. Just make sure they come and show up, right? I'll make sure that you're in charge.
All right, that's the left talking, man. That's how they're talking. They're talking about arresting Trump. There's been an ongoing coup for 3 years. They haven't been successful. I hope they don't try this, because they'll wish they hadn't.